Good afternoon, folks. I'm delighted to welcome every one of you to our exclusive webinar from Insight to Action, how to leverage product performance management to maximize conversions. For those who have just joined, please introduce yourselves in the chat box. We would love to know about you and the D2C brands that you're managing. And to set some context for the session today, let me give you a brief introduction about what product performance management is. So, before we start with the introduction, again, I would just like to highlight for those who have just joined, please feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat box, the kind of companies you're handling, if you're an agency, the kind of clientele you're handling, if you're a D2C brand owner, what industry do you belong to, and so on and so forth. All right. So after working with 350 plus e-commerce brands, we've identified three key problems that are going unaddressed while pushing budgets on Meta and Google Ads. The first problem is which products are profitable for me or my brand in terms of conversion rate, ROAS, etc. Second, how do I identify these products in a seamless manner without wasting hours on analysis and fetching information from multiple data sources? And third, after identification, how can one promote these products, the right products, across different ad platforms such as Meta, Google, etc.? So, to give you a gist and to address all these problems, we at Adyogi have come up with a concept called product performance management. All of these questions and more are answered under one single concept of PPM, that is product performance management. Identify which products to promote, which ones to remove from your catalog ads, and increase profitability. We'll delve deeper into PPM, that is product performance management, in today's session. For those who have just joined, again, I would like to request each and every one of you to introduce yourselves in the chat box. If you have any questions that you would want us to address during the session, please feel free to put them in the Q&A box or in the chat box. And stay till the end as we have a special bonus for all of you towards the end of the webinar. So get set and get your notepads ready. Before we proceed further, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Muskan, a product marketer at Adyogi, and it's my pleasure to be your host for the day. Along with me, we have Pranav leading the product team at Adyogi, and our special guest this time is Manasvi, Senior Manager of Innovation and Business Intelligence at Adyogi. So without any further ado, let's set the agenda for today's session. The first segment of the session will involve how to boost CTR using dynamic catalog overlays. And the second section will involve how to visualize your product performance on the quadrant view or product performance matrix. The third will finally involve us launching the free copy of Adyogi X Shopify Playbook covering emerging trends in e-commerce. Post this, we will have a live Q&A session wherein we will be taking up questions that you will be sending in the chat box. And if you have any queries, please feel free to put them in the chat box if they are related to the webinar or otherwise. So I encourage each and every one of you to actively engage during the webinar, ask questions, share your thoughts, and let's make this a dynamic learning experience. Hope you enjoy the session. Over to you, Pranav.
Thank you, Muskan. Hi, team, and welcome all to this week's edition of the Adyogi webinar. Within this, as Muskan has said, we'll be talking about quite a few interesting features. And I think this would find a major use case for you in coming in terms of understanding that how is the marketing landscape changing and what features that we have for you that should be able to solve major use cases for you. Now, the first feature that we want to talk about is the dynamic catalog level overlays. Yeah. So now we have launched something called as a dynamic catalog overlay, which allows you to implement overlays not only at the catalog level, but also at a category level. Now, using the overlay feature, you're able to select a specific template, or you're able to rather create template or rule-based overlays. And on top of that, you're able to select or define that on what type of products these overlays should be applicable at what category level. Now, one of the major features of the USPs of this feature is that once you enable a template-based overlay, this template-based overlays can be applied to 20 images per product. So one product can have up to 20 overlays, or let's say rule-based overlays. And these overlays are also applicable for Meta and Insta as well. So now with the templates available or with the overlays available, you're able to push your templates or push your overlays onto your Instagram ads as well. which is again a very first of the kind feature in the market where you're able to use the overlays, you're able to use a combination of overlays to be pushed into your Insta and your Meta ads accordingly. Now, before we dive right into the platform, just a quick few features that this overlay allows you, and then we have done a basic pilot with these overlays, and we have seen incremental results in terms of your CTR, your CPMs, and let's say your overall ROAS, which trickle down to your ROAS efficiency. Now, do give a check out. Let's see how do we implement these overlays and what is the combination of overlays that may work out best for you. So, coming to the Adyogi panel, you can directly click on the ad catalog and launch the overlay feature. Now, once you're in the overlay feature, you can see the overlay name. Just that's it. Yeah. You can see the overlay name. You can type the template. You can select the catalog and then the field that we want to create an overlay on. Now, let's start with the basic use case. On the front itself, you're able to select a combination of two overlays. So let's say if I select the first overlay, I can select an image, frame, price, strike through, or discount. Let's pick up a use case and try to understand the concept of overlay using the basic use case. So suppose you are an apparel-based website or an apparel-based brand and you've launched a new product. Now we'll pick up the overlay combinations over the life cycle of the product. So let's say you've launched a new product or a new collection, or let's say a new exclusive product. So what you can do is you can pick up an overlay that specifically tells that this product is an exclusive or a new launch, along with highlighting, let's say, the USP of the product. So let's say you have a kurta, you have launched an ethnic kurta, and that kurta happens to be made from the khadi material. So now khadi being, let's say, an organic being the USP of the product. So now what you can do is you can say that, select an image. So let's say in this case, we can, let's say, pick up let's say a generic image. In this case, you can also, let's say, upload your own images or let's say upload your own overlays and frames. So let's pick up the sale. Now, let's say in case if you've launched this product, let's say in a sale, so you can pick up the first image as a sale and then define the position of the image, which in this case, let's say could be the top left position. And in the second case, what I can do is I can upload an image or let's say a frame which highlights that this product is an exclusive launch or let's say a new arrival. So let's say if I pick up this, and let's say, let me just say pick up something as a new arrival and let me click on hit refresh. So now, since I have newly launched the product, and again, I can also upload, let's say, the USP of the product as part of the image or the or the frame. I can launch a product which exclusively tells me that this is a new product that has been launched, which is again exclusive launch or the USP as a frame. And then the image could be, let's say, the period that we have launched it. So it could be, let's say, a sale-based period. So once we have pushed an overlay or let's say or a template that we've created this, what I can do now is I can go down and then I can let's say select the rule on top of which I want to get this template applied. So mind you, when you're selecting or let's say when you're creating this rule, you're basically creating a rule that gets applied to a products that fall within that specific rule. So for example, if let's say I've created a template and I can let's say this is the test template. And what I can do is then I can select a condition where I can say, let's say this should be applicable where, let's say my title, or let's say in this case, let's say where my, let's say category, let's say contains ethnic. Okay. And then I can click on apply. So now once I do that, I have created a condition where any product that falls within the ethnic category will get be or the products that are part of the ethnic category are applicable for the temp. So now let's say if I've launched, let's say collection of new products or let's say new apparels in the ethnic category, where these are my, let's say my khadi made products with, let's say being part of the sale, I can, let's say save this template. And then essentially I can apply this template to all of my products that fall within the specific category for that specific duration. There I highlight the USP and the sale period. Now, let's say once the sale and let's say once the first or the new arrival of that product has, let's say the phase has passed, it's been more than 30 days or let's say more than 6 months or 5 months. Now, let's say it's part of the next event sale. So let's say you launch that product in, let's say Jan or Feb. It's the second half of this month or let's say second half of the year where let's say your Diwali and the Dussehra festivals start coming into picture. Now, what you can do is you can create a new template on top of those products that you want to make them or let's say that you want to launch in that sale period. So what you can do is you can let's say either let's say edit an existing template of that specific category, or you can create a new template and then you can say that in case if I want to change it, I can say that give me my Diwali based let's say let me just pick up Diwali, give me my Diwali based images, and then I can say let's say Diwali sale, and then I can still keep the frame which could be let's say the USP of the product. So within my Diwali I can also highlight that this product is a khadi made or let's say an organic made product, but this is part of my Diwali sale. And let's say if I hit on refresh, it gives me a basic preview as to how that product will look. So now this comes with the Diwali frame. And again, of course, you can change the position of the frame if you want to do it, let's say on top right, top left, bottom right, bottom left, or if you want to define certain axis positions, you can do those, let's say X or Y axis position itself. Now, once I have these frames available, now what I've done is a product that was a new launch for me with the USP highlighted. And now since that has gone out of that phase, I have now pushed that product into my sale period, where now since this is part of my Diwali sale, I have changed the template from my existing original new arrival to my Diwali sale, which since it's part of my sale. And then I can keep using the same template till my sale period is over. So what I can do is I can keep refreshing my frame. So it could be from Diwali, it could be the change in the frame, or in case if I'm, let's say, going on a big discount, if I now want to keep the Diwali, but I want to remove the USP, but would want to push the discount that I'm going to give on this product, what I can do is I can go to my frame and let's say I can select, let's say something, let's say as a, let's say an end of season sale, something of those on those lines, and then I can pick up a specific frame. So now I can highlight that these products are part of my Diwali sale, then and also again an end of my season sale. So I'm highlighting, let's say, the discount percentage, or let's say the discount that I'm giving out of it. Of course, you can also pick up, let's say, your discount number, which we directly pick up from the feed as well. So you can, let's say, click on hit refresh, and automatically it gives you the preview. So now what it has done is it has actually picked up the product and now pushed that product into my sale period. And let's say at the end of the year, where now your product has gone from the new arrival to, let's say, a discount Diwali sale, now let's say as a BAU product. So again, you can go back and then change the template, and then you can say that this product again could be, let's say, my USP of the product. So now if I want to remove the, let's say, any image, or let's say any sale-based creative, I can, let's say, remove it, and I can only keep it, let's say, as part of my, let's say, USP. So I just want to highlight the USP as, let's say, on my BAU days. So I can go and I can say that, give me the USPs of this product. Let me just pick up, let's say, the USPs. So I can, let's say that this, let's say in this case, if it's an organic mix, so I can, let's say, click on this and I can just highlight the USP of that product as my part of my BAU. So the idea here right now is that based upon the rules that you set in, you can, let's say, also do micro categorization of your rules. But based upon the rule setting, you can describe and you can create multiple templates on top of the same category with multiple levels of, let's say, rule setting. And then you can keep churning these templates accordingly. So now in case if I want to add a further classification, what I can say that, within my ethnic category only put it on products that, let's say, contains, let's say, shirts. So within my ethnic, let's say it could contain my shirts, or let's say it contain my kurta. So I can create multiple templates, and then I can create multiple templates on top of my multiple categories. And with the concept of this, you have created multiple rule-based templates where you can push these products. Again, let's say as stating the USPs, it could be pushed into your Facebook and Insta ads. It again could be applicable for 20 products, or let's say 20 images per product. So your one product, let's say in case if you've added a new product, and that product, let's say suppose happens to be a new arrival, as well as a product that happens to be a high potential product as well. So your one product can have multiple templates, up to 20 templates. So you can push that product in your new arrival ad, but at the same time, you can also push that product as a high potential in your second ad, or in your second catalog ad. So that is the power of pushing your category level overlays. Now, one of the best things about creating these templates, or let's say editing an existing template, is once you are done, let's say with the phase of the ad, or let's say if you've come out of the sale period and now you want to change the template to a BAU template, editing the template and then pushing it again into an ad will not push your ad into a learning phase. So what we're doing here is we're just changing the template of the ad without changing the configurations of the ad itself. So your ad will not go into a learning phase. So even with n number of combinations on top of your overlays or your templates, you're not going to affect the learning of the ad. Your ad will still have all the learnings intact. And then very easily you can, let's say, push your ads into let's say into the phase that your ad goes into. Now, once you have set the template and you have created these templates will be visible to you. But then how do you implement these templates in any of your ads? You can simply go to create ad, go to your Facebook smart ads. And then within your smart ads, what you can do is you can select the carousel with template option. And there you will see all the templates that you have created. Now, this is the part where you enable one single product to be part of, let's say, multiple templates. So let's say in case if I go, for example, if I go pick up a specific product category. Now, in case if I picked up something as an ethnic category, I can select a template which was, let's say, my ethnic sale tech category. But at the same time, if let's say if I want to push a product as part of my new arrival sale as well, I can still pick up the ethnic category and then I can select a second template. Let's say it could be, let's say, my BAU template. So one product can have multiple templates pushing into Meta or Insta. So that's the power. And then again, just to put in the numbers as well, we have seen and we've done a pilot. We have seen, let's say, upwards of 20% in upliftment in your overall CTRs. with overall, let's say, efficiency in terms of CPM achieved would be more than, let's say, 10%, and an overall ROAS impact of more than 8 to 13%. So that's the power that templates actually give you. It actually refreshes your creative to a new level where your audiences are able to better understand, or let's say get the theme of the template or the ad that you're trying to launch. Now, again, as a use case, again, as just to come pick up the use case, you can, let's say, use it on a skincare essential overlays on the Adyogi platform. Then you can choose this product type to be, let's say, which contains skincare. Let's say your category contains skincare, and then save that tool, and then use that overlay on your skincare essential ads on Instagram, Meta, and Google. So you can, let's say, as shown in the picture, you can describe the collection name or the discount percentage, and then you can select the brand logo. So again, highlighting, you can pick up any combination of image, price, strike through, discounts, and then you can push those ads. So keeping your creative refresh, and the main USP again would be that you are able to also avoid creative fatigue, where your creative, let's say, go into that phase where the creative fatigue happens and automatically it affects your bottom of the funnel matrices as well. So that's the concept of using the overlay features, and definitely you should be giving it a try. So that's the first part. Now, moving on to the second part is to understand and visualize that how are your products performing in the quadrant view that you launch on the platform. Now, before we go dive into the quadrant view, just let's take a step back and understand that with the dynamics of the marketing environment that is happening, it becomes very important for you to understand that what levers are you pulling at a product level, or let's say at an overall brand level. Now, just going by the basic conventional concepts of marketing, there are multiple levers or multiple dynamic levers that you have access to. It's just that you do not have the current data to understand it. How do you pull these levers? With the quadrant view on the Adyogi panel, you're able to correctly understand that how your products or individual products are moving along the marketing funnel. So once you launch a product and it goes from the new arrival to, let's say, becoming your top performer, there are multiple stages that your product has to cross before it actually ends up being either a top performer or a non-performer. The idea with the quadrant view is to A, identify the journey of the product in the very early stages and then take actions accordingly. And B, once you know that a product is going to go into a certain stage, try to capitalize on top of the product if it's a top performing, or at the same time, cut the products or let's say reduce the spend if the product or the set of products are going into a non-performing. So the idea is to achieve efficiency, but at the same time, understand that where your products could eventually end up. So that two use cases is what the quadrant view will eventually help you to identify and understand, and then eventually push your marketing efforts accordingly. So on the Adyogi panel, you can click on the product analytics and then land on the quadrant view. Now, quadrant view is simply a basic graph which tells you that how are your products moving along the journey. Now, you have an x-axis and a y-axis. So you can select the x-axis. In this case, let's say I picked up the x-axis as my catalog spends or total catalog spends on my products from both Meta and Google. And then a y-axis could be, let's say, my blended ROAS, which again is your catalog spends compared to your overall website revenue. Since website revenue becomes the true benchmark of your overall performance of a product, you can pick up blended ROAS, which is based upon a website revenue to your catalog spends. And then you can pick up that data. Now, how do you arrive at these numbers? You can quickly go to your product analytics product section and then see, let's say for the last 730 or let's say how many days that you want to see that whatever is your blended ROAS or let's say whatever is your total catalog spends. Now, this is again a combination that I have selected for the demonstration purposes. You can choose any number of matrices. You can pick up your spends, your views, FB, Google spends separately. And then for Y matrices, you can pick up, let's say, your ROAS, conversion rate, website revenue, GA purchase value. So for this case, since we know that the overall blended ROAS is 4.87, which is again roughly 5x, I've picked up the bottom 30 percentile, which is somewhere around, let's say, 2x. So any product that has spent somewhere 200 rupees in the last 7 days and has a blended ROAS of 2x, I want to create a quadrant view. And I can also have a third metric, which is, let's say, my website revenue. So let's say if I want to compare my views, I've added the website revenue as my third metric to see that what is the overall performance in terms of website. Now, what I can do once I hit generate, it will generate a quadrant view for me. Just to read out how do you read this quadrant view? You can look at this view, which is your x-axis and your y-axis. On your x-axis, you have your catalog spend, which is let's say 200, and the line representing in between is the products that have spent less than 200 products in the last 7 days, and products that have spent more than 200 products in the last 7 days. And your y-axis represents your blended ROAS, which is let's say your 2x. Now, products that are above this line are products that have a ROAS of more than 2x, and products below this line are products that have a ROAS of less than 2x. So now, if I look at my quadrant view, I can very simply see that I have four sectors of product, which are my top performers, where I have a list of 127 products that I have actually invested 94,000 rupees, but they have given me a revenue of more than 4,80,000 rupees. Okay, so that's a website or overall blended ROAS of 5x. At the same time, I also have a list of high potential where let's say I am only spending 18,000, but with an overall website revenue 5,47,000. The low discovery being other products that have, let's say, spent less than 200 rupees and have a blended ROAS of less than 2x, which essentially means that these products have not got the essential visibility in terms of your ad visibility. So you can take a call on top of these low discovery products and then start pushing them. And then you have your absolute non-performers, which have got a required amount of spends or let's say required amount of efforts being put into it, but are still not generating any results, significant results for you. So as very rightly seen, you can see that your overall catalog spends have been, let's say, upwards of 1,40,000, but the overall revenue that they've generated is only 63,000 on your website with a blended ROAS of 0.4x. So now very clearly, this tells you that this is how your products are moving along the marketing journey. Now, just as a best practice, you would ideally want to reduce a lot of your spends going into your non-performers and at the same time start diverting these spends to your high potential and your top performers considering the ROAS efficiency that these products hold. Now, at the same time, since you have, so that's the first case that you can do is just to identify your non-performers or based upon the benchmark that you want to see and then start diverting your spends from your non-performers to your high potential and top performers. And how do you ensure that your ad spends are not going into non-performers? Is very simply on the Adyogi panel, you can set a product stop loss, which essentially curtails products that are not performing for you based upon the same conditions. And hence you can stop your ad spends going into your non-performing products. And then at the same time, you can then start pushing your ad spends into high potential and top performers by using the product set creation process from the Adyogi dashboard. Second thing that we want to highlight is since you have a large or let's say a considerable chunk of low discovery products or products that have not got let's say the required visibility, the idea is to start understanding and finding out profitable chunk from your low discovery products. So we do not let's say recommend that you push all of your low discovery products into your ads, but what you can do is you can start identifying that what are your profitable chunks within your low discovery products that are let's say very much on the borderline of giving you good returns, and then essentially start promoting these products let's say on your on your ads. Now a very quick understanding as to how do you view this very simply, since you know that these are my filters, that this is a line that represents 200 and then this is a line that represents 2x. You can directly go to your product analytics section and under the filter section you can add certain filters. So you can say, let's say in this case, if I want to identify my high potential products, what I can say is products that have spent less than 200 rupees in the last 7 days, but at the same time have a ROAS of more than 2x. So very simply, I can go and then I can say that I can say that my total catalog spends is, let's say, less than 200, but at the same time, my blended ROAS is greater than 2. So now this gives me my high potential cohort. So I can click on hit apply. And very easily, just understanding these two basic metrics gives me a list of products that can give me very incremental output. Now, of course, this is a big list. Let's say this again is a list of roughly close to 385 products. Now you can decide to launch on top of it. So this is roughly, let's say 29 or 30x of your ROAS. You can do further bifurcation by, let's say, picking up specific categories. So you can define, let's say, do it on top of my, let's say, specific categories or let's say specific filter. So you can say only product with where let's say title contains ethnic or let's say products where which fall let's say part of my ethnic or let's say my wedding collection. So you can have all type of these filters available, but the crisper idea being that you are able to identify those pipeline of products. So no more is it let's say a black box where you do not know how my products are moving. But with the product analytics and the quadrant view available on the Adyogi dashboard, you can very easily identify that how are my products moving along the entire marketing funnel. Now, as I said, just to pick up the second use case, I said that you can pick up profitable chunk of products that are part of your low discovery. So what we'll do is very quickly we'll identify the low discovery product. So if I just read the line again, anything that has spent less than 200 and has a blended ROAS of less than 2x, directly go to your filter section and simply change the blended ROAS from greater than to let's say less than let's say 2x. And let's say click on hit apply. So now this gives you a list of products that are part of your low discovery. And let's say we have a list of 2,200 products. Now, when I said that we need to pick up the profitable chunk, what we can now do is we can identify products on top of your let's say revenue. So let's say in this case we are not getting any significant revenue. What we can do is we can pick up the data from let's say your GA. So let's say how much is Google Analytics recording in terms of the purchase value. And now let's say if I have a list of products where I can see that significant purchase value has been attributed to let's say these products, I can also quickly add a filter that it only give me list of products where let's say my Google purchase or let's say what GA4 has recorded as purchase, let's say more than 1,000 rupees in the last 7 days. So this is the way of identifying that how do you, let's say this is a let's say a segment of your profitable products, and then accordingly you can launch these products in your marketing efforts. So that's the power of using the quadrant view and the product analytics to identify that what type of products and what category of products to be promoted, and at the same time creating those product sets and launching from the IDG panel to be launched in your marketing efforts. So just with those two use cases of your overlays and which increases the product visibility, which gives a better boost to your CTR and avoids your creative fatigue, and at the same time launching the product sets or let's say launching products that you have identified as let's say good pipelines for you using the quadrant view, you can significantly boost your marketing efforts, your overall ROAS efficiency by understanding that these two levers are let's say a good enough set of features for you to pick up and then push in terms of your marketing efforts. So I think you should definitely give it a try. And since this happens to be one of the core features of it, you can definitely reach out to us to have a better understanding as to how do you implement this. So I think Muskan can let you know that how do you reach out and then how do we go forward with the understanding of these two features.
Right. Thanks, Pranav, for giving a brief and detailed explanation of how the product performance matrix or the quadrant view works on the Adyogi platform. For those who are not associated with Adyogi yet, we are offering a free product performance audit that will be done by Adyogi's e-commerce and product experts. So you can get to know the performance of your product on the basis of different metrics, let's say blended ROAS, average spends, and segregate your products into these four quadrants that are hero products, hidden gems, zombie products, or in other words, the less discoverable products, and then poor performing products. So all you have to do is scan this QR code that is on your screen, fill in the Google form that will be presented on your mobile phone, and then all you have to do is put in some details about your brand. There are some criteria that you should be able to meet to be able to avail this audit. The criteria is that you must have an e-commerce website, you should have more than 300 products in your e-commerce store, and you should be spending at least 10 lakh rupees on your paid ads. So get going and avail this free product performance audit if this sounds like you, if you meet the eligibility criteria, and we'd be happy to get back to you with this audit. So now moving on to what feature was your favorite and one of the polls that we've launched for you. So you should be able to see a poll on your screen right now. And with this poll, you should be able to answer which was your favorite feature till now. So we discussed today how to visualize product performance on quadrant view and how to boost CTR using dynamic catalog overlays. Now, some features might be beneficial for particular brands and some might not be beneficial for other brands. So, as per that understanding, you should be able to answer this question. It will also help us gain some understanding as to how it will help the attendees in today's session. So, right now, we are going ahead with the visualizing of product performance on quadrant view. That's great. 64% of the audience liked the quadrant view better. All right, we are closing the poll in another 5 seconds. Great. So yeah, as the results show, we can obviously see that the quadrant view will help a lot of you and benefit you in terms of tracking your product performance and segmenting your products into different um, segments, that is hidden gems, hero products, less discoverable, poor performers, etc. And yeah, if you wish to avail the same, if you wish to avail this free product performance audit, please do so by scanning the QR code. We've also shared a Google form link in the chat box. So please avail the same by going through the link. All right, now we have this next segment and my personal favorite segment of the session, wherein we'll be talking and launching the Adyogi X Shopify playbook. So let's move ahead and let's talk about a little about the playbook. So the playbook is created selected around four key trends in the Indian D2C market that can help you scale your e-commerce business up a notch in 2024. First is surge in demand for omni-channel solutions driving footfall. Second is strategic shift towards first-party data amidst cookie depreciation discussions. Third is burgeoning interest among Indian brands to expand into global geographies. And fourth is leveraging automation and AI to optimize cost and efficiency. So, on that note, I would like to invite Manasvi to speak more about the playbook and how can a D2C brand hop on these trends to make the most of the remaining 8 months of 2024. So, Manasvi, over to you.
Thank you so much, Muskan. And yes, we are very happy to have launched this particular playbook along with senior leadership from Shopify team, Meta team, and Google team in Bombay, I think at the beginning of this month. And since then, we've been getting a lot of appreciation from clients and brands alike in terms of the kind of insights that we've generated via this playbook. Today, in the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to take you through quick snippets from what the playbook has right now, mostly covering omni-channel marketing and first-party data. But if you guys find it interesting and if you have, if you want to read more about it, do download the Shopify and Adyogi playbook for free and go through the rest of it. Without further ado, omni-channel marketing is, I think, the new it word nowadays. The way consumers shop has gone a seismic shift in the last few years. We've all been around when people would shop in brick and mortar stores most of the time. Almost 90% of our shopping was happening there. Maybe a small 10% happening on TV shopping, where you see an ad on TV and you do like telephone orders. But now people are smarter. They want much more. With COVID coming in and very cheap and easy access to internet, so many people shifted to online shopping. The latest trend is that people want connectivity across the board. They want to be able to see a product on their mobile phone while browsing social media, research about it online, go to an offline store, check out how the product looks like, whether it fits well or whether they like the look and feel of it, and probably convert between offline and online, whichever channel suits them the best. And as marketers and as brands, we have to make sure that we are dynamic enough and we are evolving with this evolving customer base that we have. This is where omni-channel e-commerce comes in. It kind of helps us by integrating all of our sales channels to create a unified experience for the customers, so that it can foster a much higher brand loyalty and drives growth for the brands as well. And of course, while all of that sounds really great and everybody wants to discover products online, buy them offline, it's not as easy to measure things like this. And of course, set up campaigns to drive sales offline, whereas the campaigns are happening online. This is where we are trying to help and demystify the problem a little bit. Of course, very difficult to cover in one slide, but a good starting point for everybody would be that at least get your measurement bit ready, so that whatever sales are coming in offline, you're able to measure it, figure out where it's coming from. Then we'll get to the optimization part of it. Another great starting point could be to set up Google My Business to just increase your organic store presence, because if somebody is looking for a store, the first thing that they go to Google and look for it. And if your GMB is not there, they might not end up coming to your store. So getting your GMB updated would be the first thing that you do. Then comes the measurement part, where both Google and Meta teams help us out quite a lot. In terms of Meta, you can implement OCAPI to help flow the data from offline to online. So there are all of these measurement solutions that are provided that can help simplify that for you. And once we have our setup and measurement ready, then of course, optimization. We can do campaigns for store traffic to get directions to the store. Even local inventory ads are possible nowadays, where you can say that, in this nearby store, so and so inventory is available. So all of that is possible. But of course, setup and measurement are the first priorities here. Then coming to first party data, another big term that's being used quite a lot nowadays. And why it is being used more and more nowadays is that from July onwards, July of 2024 onwards, even Google Chrome is going to deprecate third party cookies. So that's of course a big shift for all of the marketing platforms, for us, for the brands, everybody. And that's where first party data can actually help us kind of tackle that problem, so that we don't have a data void going ahead. So just to draw a quick timeline of that, around 2020, if you all remember, Apple blocked most of the third party cookies, which was a huge hit on everybody's ROASs on their meta platforms, and we were all worried that what's going on. But of course, that took some time, but it stabilized with implementation of CAPI and everything. Then now 2024 is when Chrome will also deprecate, and the issue for India is that 95% of India's internet searches do happen on Chrome, Safari, and Firefox browsers, Chrome being the leader out of all. So once Chrome third-party cookies are also deprecated, we will have to make sure that our first-party data systems are in place and very, very accurate. Our conversions API is implemented to make sure that in the cookie-less world, we are more than ready to have accurate conversion tracking. So for this, again, Meta, Google have provided us systems that can help simplify this for us. For Meta, I think most of us would have implemented, if not, the process is very simple: conversions API, or CAPI as they like to call it. Once we implement that, it fetches your first party data to help you show reporting for your campaigns, to help better conversion tracking. Similar to that, on Google, we have enhanced conversions. Once enhanced conversions is implemented, again, first party data also starts flowing into the system. So then there is no data voids. I would recommend that get your conversions API and enhanced conversions set up as soon as possible, because once the deprecation starts, we would want to have at least a good warm up period of 2 years for the conversions API system and enhanced conversions to start flowing the data accurately. Once this is done, of course, we should not have much to worry about. Ultimately, first party data is the most trusted source of information because it's coming directly from our customers, and we will be able to optimize better using the same. We do have some case studies also around how first party data has helped in improving the quality of optimization. It does take time. Day one probably will not see such great results, but eventually it does help. So I would definitely recommend for you to try and enable conversions API and enhance conversions as soon as possible. And do get your soft copy of the Shopify X Adyogi playbook if you want to know more about any of these subjects. We also cover cross-border marketing in the same, and automations, which is I think one of our favorite topic ever, which Pranab has also covered to some extent earlier during the webinar, and we do on a weekly basis. So I think that's it from my end, Muskan. Back to you for, I think, Q&A now.
Yes, thank you
And
so
yes,
much, Manasvi.
perfect. We have the QR code to download the playbook as well.
Absolutely. So on that note, people please feel free to scan this QR code on your screen and avail your free copy of Adyogi X Shopify Playbook. Go enterprise from insight to action. You will get insights related to cross-border marketing, having an omni-channel presence, automations, and much more in this free ebook. Please feel free to avail the same. We'll also share the link through which you can download this ebook from, and this has been shared in the chat box with you. Let us know if you're facing any issues while downloading the ebook. We will also be sharing this with all the attendees of the webinar post the webinar is over, as well as the recording. So don't worry, we will share all the collaterals with you after the webinar is done. All right, so moving on to the Q&A section, we have some questions related to overlays. So Pranav, if you could just answer this quick question on, can I put overlays on Instagram DPA ads directly from Meta Ads Manager?
Yes, you can. So you can definitely put your Instagram, your overlays on your ads from the Meta Ads Manager. But I think I suggest that, I mean, having been said that,
it would still make sense to use the IDB dashboard, considering the fact that you have those concept of template rules where you can define those template rules and then set up those rules accordingly based upon the, let's say, your title categorization rated level data as well. So rather than just you going with the first concept of using your basic category or let's say specific set of macro rules, which again could be achieved from Meta Ads Manager, you can have the option to do it at a very micro level using the IDB dashboard.
Right. Another question coming in your way regarding overlays is that if I keep changing the overlay, will my ad be impacted negatively?
Got it. I'm happy that we've asked this question. So the answer to it would be no, you would not, and it would not push your ad into a learning phase. Just to give you a brief context, that once you set a template or an overlay on top of your ad, you're not so anything that pushes your ad into a learning phase essentially has to be something that deals with the changing the configuration of the ad. So, for example, let's say if you've changed the entire set of audiences, you've changed the set of creatives, or let's say if you have changed the entire targeting, that puts your ad into a learning phase. But if your existing configurations are correctly setting and you do any changes to your existing set of configurations without changing the entire lot, it will not push your ad into a learning phase. So let's say when you've put, let's say if you've put a template A and you've put it on top of your ads, any changes to template A without moving the concept of template A will not push your ad into a learning phase. That's very simply, if you keep refreshing your products within your product set without changing the entire product set, it will not push your ad into the learning phase. So that's the best part of the beauty of overlays from the Adyogi dashboard being that it will not push your ads into learning phase. Your ads will have all the learnings intact.
Right. Thanks for answering this question. The next question is for you, Manasvi. It's related to first party, third party data, and it's basically about if you could help us understand what a brand should do to navigate the noise around first party, third party, and if you could break this down for our attendees, it would be really great.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Like I said earlier, your first party data is the data that you collect when, let's say, a customer shops from you and you say that, let's fill out this form and we get some of their detail, let's say their mobile number, email address, because they agree that, okay, send me some promotional messages and let me know when you have a sale next time. That is first party data. You know that the customer has agreed to give you information. Coming to third party data, this is basically what a pixel does. You go to a website, you shop online, and there's that pixel sitting like a CCTV camera tracking your moves and figuring out what products you're adding to cart. That is third party data where it's collecting information about who's buying what, who's adding what to cart. And that is something that Meta and Google collect to optimize campaigns, let's say at this point, which because of privacy concerns now is starting to get deprecated. Now our only source of information ideally should be first party data, which is collected from consumers with full consent. Yes, it's going to be a huge shift because right now our lives are made very simple. We could just paste a small code onto the website and it would do all of the tracking for us. It would help us report for our campaigns. It would help us figure out where to put the monies and all. Now, with the third party data not being there, and if let's say first party data is not getting accurately passed on, that could be a challenge for optimizing as well. But it doesn't have to be because even before, way before the third party data got deprecated or the conversation started, there were systems put in place to pass on first party data from directly from your websites to the reporting platforms, to the advertising platforms like Meta, Google, etc. So all you have to do, for example, in case of Meta, like I was mentioning, that as long as you have conversions API enabled, you should not have any problem because conversions API pulls information directly from your backend of the website and it sends it back to the system to figure out who purchased, how, what kind of activity people are taking on the website. Similarly, enhanced conversions does the same for Google. So if you have enhanced e-commerce enabled, enhanced conversions enabled, you will be able to share first party data back with Google for it to be able to optimize your campaigns and make sure that we're targeting ads to the right people.
I think that should explain what exactly is the noise around first party, third party, and CDP platforms and should help D2C brands, understand what is the significance of having first party data at your dispense so that you can combat the cookieless world that is not so far in this particular year. So thank you, Manasvi, for taking up this particular question. The next question we have is regarding the quadrant view that we shared in during the webinar. So based on the quadrants, how do I get a list of all these products in each quadrant? I think Pranav, you would be able to answer this question.
Yeah, correctly. So let me just share my screen and let me know if it's visible. I think that again is a good question to answer. So let's just remove this for the time being. Yeah. So again, coming back to the same concept. So now let's say you have identified a set of products that you want to view a list of. So again, let me take up a list of products that let's say fall within the non-performing. So now since I know that, so and consider this as the zero base point. So it's 0, 200, and then infinity, and then it's 0, 2, and then infinity. So if I want to pick up products that are in a non-performing, I really need to just check the line that this quadrant falls into. So let's say this is the fourth quarter. So products that have spent more than rupees 200, which is again, let's say right of this line, and has a blended ROAS of less than 2x, that is at the bottom right of this quadrant. So now this becomes your base criteria or your base filters, where products that have spent more than 200 but have a ROAS of less than 2x. So simply go to your product analytics. Yeah.
Pranab, are you sharing your screen as well?
I am sharing my screen. Is it visible?
Yeah, we can't see. Hold on a moment. Huh? I'm gonna stop.
Oh,
And
okay.
yes. Now
Is
we're
it
good to
visible?
go. Go ahead, please.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah. So now let's pick up the quadrant. And I was saying that since we want to pick up the non-performing quadrant, and this is again your 0 mark. So this contains becoming a 0. That's 0, 200, and infinity. And that's 0, 2, and then infinity. So if I want to pick up the fourth quadrant, or let's say my non-performing quadrant, or let's say my top performing quadrant, any quadrant, I just need to check that within which quadrant this product lies, or this segment lies. So if I pick up my non-performance, it is anything that has spent more than 200, since it's on the right of my 200 rupees, or let's say the right of the quadrant, and has a ROAS of less than 2x. So because it's the bottom percentile. Now, similarly, if I want to pick up my top performer, it's anything that has spent more than 200 and has a ROAS of more than 2x. Okay. So that's how you read the quadrants. Now, in order to identify that which products fall within the quadrant, you have identified the set of filters that it is more than 200 and less than 2x. So directly go to your quadrant view, or let's say your product analytics, pick up the filters, and then let's say that anything that has a catalog spends of, let's say, greater than 200, considering that this is more than 200, since it is on the right hand side, anything more than 200 and a blended ROAS of less than 2x, considering that this is at the bottom, so less than 2x. And the moment you click on hit apply, it will automatically generate a list of products that have, let's say, that are non-performers for you. And then you can keep identifying those products. Now, with the set of non-performers, what you can now do is, since you have a ROAS of, let's say, 0.4, which is again the blended ROAS concept. Now, having done that, you can, let's say, keep identifying your quadrants. Now, it's not necessary that, you fall within these 4 quadrants. So what you can do is you can also, let's say, find a very, let's say, middle ground for these products. So just being said, understanding that what are your matrices helps you to identify a list of products. Just pick up these specific lines, and anything that falls as per the y-axis, let's say, which is this axis, anything that falls, let's say, on the left-hand side has spent less than this, and anything on the right-hand side is more than that specific number. And again, for the y-axis, anything on top of it is more than that value, anything below it is less than that value. So that's how you identify a list of products, and now and let's say create those pipelines. I hope that answers the question, to identify those products.
Right, absolutely. So lastly, we have one question. Manasvi, you spoke about automations in the playbook. If you could elaborate on how exactly can D2C brands leverage these various automations, then it would definitely give our attendees a better understanding of PPM also and automations as a concept in performance marketing.
I think when it comes to automations, we have so many features to offer, so it's very hard to pick one. But of late, my favorite has definitely been the ability to exclude products from campaigns if they're not performing very well. But I've seen it works best when, at the time when you're excluding certain products, let's say that you had certain products taking about 15-20% of your budgets with not that greater revenue, not greater conversion rate. Of course, PPM helps by sort of eliminating those products from the campaigns and making sure that they don't take up spends anymore. But I think if at the same time you can also inculcate certain products that you know have shown great trends, have good conversion rates, and could become your hero products in the future. If at the same time you can also uh, very smartly direct the budgets to those products, this combination I think works best in terms of like scaling your campaigns really fast. So basically what I like to do is depending from brand to brand, we eliminate products from the catalog on a regular basis of, let's say, conversion rates, blended ROAS, etc. And at the same time I like to have an ad running which is basically promoting the products which have very little views, but the conversion rates are on the higher side. Or if, let's say, a brand has certain new arrivals which they want to really promote, depends from brand to brand. But if you have certain smart ways of promoting the right products while the system is automatically removing the non-performing products for you, I think that is a winning combination when it comes to being able to profitably scale your spends as well. Another thing that I've also noticed is that a lot of the times when you start to spend on certain products, your hero products tend to take up a lot of the budgets. But sometimes there are also diminishing returns, or you start to see that those products after a couple of days don't perform very well. I have worked out that a lot of the time it's not that that product has just exhausted its audience or anything, but sometimes just refreshing creatives or refreshing imagery for the product can also help to pick up the performance back up again. So sometimes it's not that the product doesn't have potential, it's just that there's a little bit of creative fatigue which can be refreshed to pick up performance back up again.
Right. And on that note, I feel like overlays is the perfect feature that would help
Yes.
you, combat that creative fatigue. And we've also observed that brands have been able to boost their CTRs by up to, let's say, 30-40% just by using overlays. So, of course, you can use these overlays directly on Meta ad platform as well. But the catch here is that these overlays that you would otherwise deploy from Meta Ads Manager would not be deployable on your Instagram ad placements. That is something that we address through our Adyogi's dynamic catalog overlays. You can leverage these overlays on ad placements such as Instagram ads, Google ads, display network, etc., wherein you would also want to communicate information such as coupon codes, new 10, which is another coupon code example that Pranav gave. And then again, what is the USP of a particular product? What is the collection name of a particular product? And I'm pretty sure you would be able to catch these overlays after the session is over when you see ads from, let's say, marketplaces, Mintra, Nykaa, etc. So do make sure that you're using overlays to the maximum, and using templates of overlays is even better because you can apply these overlays in bulk and do not have to keep updating them over and over again. So, just to further Manasvi's thoughts on how automations has helped the brands that she has been managing at Adyogi, I would just like to give you a brief understanding to our attendees here of the concept that we have called product performance management. So, product performance management can be summarized in three key concepts. The first is product analytics, which basically means you track the performance of each and every product on your website. So different brands have different number of products. We have clients that have 500 products, 1,000 products. Some even have up to 1 million products, and most of them, of course, are marketplaces. So what we saw over the period of last 2 years was that every product has a different conversion rate and every product has a different pricing. So we now have stitched everything together, the spends, revenue, conversion rate, product page views from each product, basically saying that every product now has their own P&L. And now you can figure out which of your products have higher conversion rate, higher AOV, and so on. This was the first use case. The second use case is how do you save budgets on your low converting, as Manasvi rightly mentioned, that her favorite feature is also the stop loss automation, as we like to call it, is that there will be by default some products that are not performing for you. And these are the segment of products which you would ideally not like to spend or waste your money on. So we've observed that on an average, brands tend to lose at least 30 to 40% of their ad spends on these non-profitable products. And to automatically remove these products from your ads, we have something called stop loss automation. Thirdly, PPM revolves around spending on the right product. So just like we developed the quadrant view where we have four segments of products, hidden gems, hero products, etc., you can make n number of segments and decide what are the right products for you. And within a matter of clicks, you can push them in your ads. So just an example, let's say you want to push your hero products in the kurta sets category. So I will go to the Adyogi platform and apply certain filters, something like embroidered kurta sets, which has more than 5,000 page views. Conversion rate is greater than 1%. The AOV is between 1,000 to 3,000, and they are not broken. That means that the core sizes are in stock, or you have an inventory of at least 100 SKUs of that product. Right. So with one click, you can promote those specific product set of high converting kurta sets in your Meta and Google ads. So this is essentially PPM explained for you, product performance management, what it does, what it has been doing for brands like Azza Fashions, Bombay Shirt Company, US Polo, etc. And they have been able to improve their profitability with these concepts, and you can too if you wish to avail our PPM tool or get an better understanding of how it works. We've shared a meeting link in the chat box. You can always book a call with us and get a deeper understanding of what product performance is and how it can help your D2C brand in increasing your profitability. All right, so that was it for today's webinar. I think we had a quite informative session, and we usually close around 3:15, but this time we extended just for you guys. Thanks to you for sharing so many interesting questions with us that we could take up and help others also get a better understanding of the concepts that we discussed during the webinar. Again, just to pump it up again, we have shared the meeting link with you. If you wish to collaborate with us, those who are not associated with Adyogi as of yet, please do so and book a demo with us today. That is it for today's session. We'll see you next month. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Pranav. Thanks, Manasvi. Thank you,
Thank
everyone. See
you.
you next month. Bye bye.